Welcome to the cast of Medieval Attorneys Bronze Division Final. I'm here having a quick look at the draft first. The maps in question are Golden Pit, Scandinavia, Nomad, Four Lakes, and then the starting map Runestones. This tournament was launched before KOTD Arabia became the standard map, and that was kind of unfavorable with the balance sometimes, or it could be bugged in terms of woodlines. So now we're on with the Runestones as the starting substitute for Arabia. So we have Fire Screen TV versus Il Sanders 420. I hope one of them has the same nickname in game, otherwise I'm at a loss as to who is playing. But with that out of the way, let's have a little talk about the maps and civs. Runestones. Basically, any of these civs could be played. This is kind of Arabia-esque, I'd say. Britain's for Runestones, Spanish for Nomad, Mayans. Not too sure about that. Not too sure about the rest of the civs here. Persians, definitely Four Lakes. Bulgarians could be Four Lakes as well. Grab posts for map control and scouts. Yeah, looks like Fire Scream is an archer's micro player here, whereas Il Sanders is more of the cavalry. Cavalry style player. Not so many archer civs here. Japanese, fully upgraded Arbalists. Mongols could play Arbalists as well and Mangudai, but yeah, we'll see. Let's go to the games. Guess what? Sounds like we have Franks uh, for Runestones here. It's a best of 5 in this bronze division, so let's get going. Il Sanders here with the pranks. Very likely to open scouts then, although Franks do have other options going for them. You could open men at arms with a lower population than the general ones. And welcome to WHDJ92. That was a mouthful to pronounce, but I hope I didn't put shame on your name. Glad you're looking forward to it. Pranks, more often than not, will go scouts into knights, into cavalier and paladin. And should they need a counter unit to enemy pikemen, spearmen, they could, of course, make skirmishers, but they are kind of lackluster in the late game here, the Franks elite skirmishers. So you'd rather go for a couple of those cheaper Franks castles instead and pump out some throwing axemen to deal with enemy infantry defense. And for the opponent here, we have Fire Screen TV here with the Ethiopians. Faster firing archers. So as far as... excuse me. As far as archer civilizations go versus cavalry civilizations, Ethiopians have the upper hand over most of archer civilizations because of their 20% faster firing archers as the civilization bonus. Add to that you're given 100 food, 100 gold upon reaching each next stage as well. It makes it a lot more easy to afford your crucial upgrades or your men-at-arms if you want to go for an early Ethiopian's men-at-arms build order. So Fire Screen TV here likely to start off with an infantry opening like the Drush, the militia opening, or since this is on the lower end of the ELO spectrum for medieval tourneys, we might see the men-at-arms as well, or something completely different. Map seems quite open for Runestones here for Fire Screen TV. A big chunk to wall on either side here, but not at all impossible. A bit of a setback to have the berries forward. I think that's only the case for Fire Scream. So berries in the back for Il Sanders here. That's good news for opening for the scouts. Medieval, more like medieval. Ah, you hinted it. Love a good pun. That's a good one. Why didn't I think of that? Sorry, dog. I love it. Had to let out the dog or let in the dog, who knows. I'll call her the German wants to ban German jokes in the chat. Oh, the irony. The irony. So they haven't quite got around to scouting each other yet. Also haven't really seen any deer being pushed in for either player, so they want to maximize the efforts to keep the villagers working and scout here instead. Wait, Ilsander is going back to push in some deer after all. Just sharing love. That's good. Wait, what is this shitty woodland? Actually, they both have the woodlands fairly far away. I guess the backbone is decent here for Ilsanders. Runesouls generally has those 4 woodlands around your starting base. But, yeah. Gold positioning slightly better for Ilsanders, even if the gold is a bit far away. Good scouting by Fire Scream to find that to the side, by the way, to see that. He will see 3 on wood as well. Just to confirm that the Franks player is indeed going to go for the scouts opening here. It could still be the men-at-arms, actually, because 21 pop men-at-arms, you'd usually have only 3 on wood. Here comes a 4th one, and Ilsanders will be clicking up shortly after Loom is completed, assuming there's enough food here when force dropping. Little bit of idle time there pending the transition. Lacking a bit of food, didn't successfully collect enough food to force drop for the 19 pop up here. So the build order a little bit off here for Ilsanders, going for another villager instead of idling DC to go up and here. And I guess that makes perfect sense. 20 pop up, still good for the Franks here. Going to beat the Ethiopians to the up here. And the Ilsanders also finding the enemy location, sees the house. This is where Fire Scream's at. Now you want to look to confirm what Fire Scream is up to here. I don't see any barracks, so it's not going to be any infantry opening after all. It's going to be the straight archers, or straight spears even, for Fire Scream to here. Did not go to gold, did not click up yet. For the straight archers build, it's quite common to click up, then pass 3 builders from food underneath TC to gold. Let's see here, 1, 2... Actually, 2 is fine for the Ethiopians, because you get that 100 gold once you reach the feudal age. So, this barracks builder is actually quite exposed for Ilsander, so if Fire Scream wanted to, could use the scout to deny or delay the barracks from going up here. It's a risk, though, when the opponent has Loom, the villager will take a lot of HP off the scout before the scout possibly gets a kill. I like the building foundation placements here from Ilsanders as well. It forms a temporary wall until you get to your military production going, and if you keep the aggression up forward, you could just finish those walls later on. Looking sharp today, sir. You go to the barbershop? Yeah, I had a haircut before Christmas. You're quite right. And I have been streaming a few times on Colder, so that's a giveaway. You haven't been to my streams. Just kidding. Just kidding. Here come the walls from the Franks. These stables are already up and producing the scouts. Whereas Fire Scream TV has small wall the resources, obviously expecting the Frank scouts here. Also dropping the range at the woodline here as part of the wall. And I mean, why not? Blacksmith range going up at home for Fire Scream TV. Now keep in mind, Ethiopians, they get the pikeman upgrade instantly in the next age as well. So with the cast age against Frank's cavalry, that's a handy one to have. I mean, usually you don't mass pikes all that much against cavalry in the cast age. You make monks instead, or just wall them out. Quick walls, small walls, stone walls, whatever. But not needing to spend 215 food, 100 gold, or whatever it is for the pikeman upgrade does save you some resources and makes it easier to actually justify that investment. And then you'll, presumably, being the Ethiopians, you'll have archers or crossbows up as well. Stupid German Christmas. Yeah. Good, you're spending time with family. Alkolner. So, scouts forced to pound away at small walls here. Ilsanders, if he really wants to do proper damage here, will need to invest into will need to invest into some range approach. And you'll need the skirmishers anyway, potentially, against the first few volleys of the Ethiopians, so might as well just consider some skirmishers to join in. Skirmishers deal bonus damage to spearmen and to archers, so it's scouts and skirmishers not to be underestimated for extended feudal age fights. Looks like Sanders is missing the scouts movement here. 3 archers moving forward for Fire Screen TB, fletching already in as well. And they're gonna make it to Sanders' base before the walls go up, but only 3 archers though. Could actually bring these scouts back for Il Sanders here and deal with the archers that way, but goes for the counter aggression instead, which also makes sense to keep the opponent on their tiptoes and take some attention away from the micromanagement. Oh, nice archers micro here. We saw it from the Civilization's pick of Fire Screen TV that archers may be very much their weapon of choice. Fire Scream's weapon of choice. Let's see if we're going to get more kills here. Might be a second builder. Remember, Ethiopian's archers fire faster as well. He saves the life at 1 HP. Good save there, but off gold. This could be a short first game for Il Sanders if this keeps up. Getting free pike in castle is also pretty sick, actually. Yeah, it is. It's useful. So yeah, so I spoke about the skirmishers for Il Sanders, so that's a good call against Ethiopians. The range is up, the skirmishers are in production. Might want to task some builders off gold to food instead, to make sure that consistent skirmisher production can be made here. You're not really, unless you're making archers of your own, you're not really going to need the gold at this point in the game. And all as the Franks, really doesn't make sense to make archers here against the Ethiopians. You could go scouts in front and have some skirmishers behind, and then you could hold off the Ethiopians archers like that. Fire Scream TB plays really good. Might be a streamer actually, Fire Scream on Twitch, so if that's the case, have a look. And well played indeed. 2 builder kills, good value for only 3 archers forward. And the eco balance looks to be better for Fire Scream as well. Higher idle TC, maybe to be expected when you're going for the archer's microaggression like that. It does potentially take attention off other important tasks like the economy micromanagement at home. So walls not quite completed here. The scouts can roam in again, and now the skirmishers are here to join in. No fletching for Il Sanders though. Well, it will still be able to take out the spearman. Yeah, scout gets the last hit there. Nice. And now Fire Scream forced on the defensive here. Will choose to stay here. Does have the faster firing range, but if you really want to use your own archers to deal with the skirmishers, you want to make sure you can get close enough to abuse the fact that skirmishers have minimum range. Gets a few scouts pickups there though, so we have to give that to Fire Scream TV. Definitely defending well here. Yeah, here we see it. Archers moving close to the skirmishers so that Il Sanders won't be able to use the skirmishers against the archers. Good pickoffs here. 8-7 KD. No villagers lost for Fire Scream, which is might arguably more important here. Castle Age coming in. The Castle Age will give Fire Scream 100 food, 100 gold as well, which will almost be enough to afford Bodkin Arrow on its own. And yeah, floating quite a bit of wood here. Could maybe opt for some forward siege after upgrading into the crossbow and Bodkin Arrow. And really start pushing the Franks at home here, because Il Sanders still lacking 200 food to go up to the next stage. Here comes another wave of archers. There are some skirmishes here. Well, I guess as long as Fire Scream keeps consistent production back home. Couple of more ranges, 2 more ranges going up here to boost the numbers. And then these guys could be considered. You always want to keep your units mass, obviously. But if you break in and do some solid damage with your little group of initial archers, that could also make a big difference here. You could deny gold to impair Knight's production in the next age as well. Second stable, 3 stables going up here for Ilsander, so no market to adjust the gold situation here, but go straight for triple stables. There's a long while to go though, so this is dangerous. When Castle Age kicks in, Fire Scream will get Bodkin Arrow and Crossbow, and suddenly these Feudal Age skirmishers of the Franks with no upgrades whatsoever just won't stand a chance. You see even the Feudal Age archers here doing... Oh no, but run away! Don't... Just... Alright. Well, Fire Scream TV is still going to win this one, getting Bodkin, Crossbow, getting another wave of archers to send forward, presumably. Oh, there's a hole! There's a hole! There we go. Yeah, sees that. Nice. So, first major mistake of Ilsander's here. Fire Scream TV, sorry. First major mistake of Fire Scream TV here to have a hole in the wall here. That's also the first villager dead for the blue player. Higher idle TC time, as you can see here, but if you are aggressive enough as a player and do enough damage, then you'll still be looking at a comparable eco. You see, both players now in the cast stage, Ilsanders is 6 villagers ahead due to keeping the TC working at a better rate. You could easily focus on skirmishers with crossbows. You could actually use that extra range of Bodkin Arrow as well. If you check the enemy's units upgrades, you'll see that the crossbows have 2 or 3 more range than those Feudal Age upgraded skirms. So, Fire Scream is in, no ballistics here, but does fire faster with EQ weapons regardless, getting 2 more kills, 3 kills, 4 kills. Great value here. Although, what you really want to hit at this point is to deny TCs from going up and to hit the farm economy, do anything you can to impact the Knights production here. 3 stables for Ilsanders. Lots of Knights in the queue here. You can see that 10 Knights in the queue. So I guess that early gold investment paid off after all, but the forward crossbows of Fire Scream have had massive damage done regardless. 8 villagers killed by the blue player so far. Another wave of crossbows, but now the Knights numbers are decent here. They are lacking the most important upgrade against Archer's Fire though, especially against the faster firing Ethiopian Archers. If you don't have the +2 armor on the Knights, you'll be very weak to mass crossbows. So if Fire Scream TV collects the 2 groups of crossbows here, it should be dealing with those Knights no problem, because you just need that second Pierce armor upgrade is just gold against mass archers. Production at the halt for Fire Scream TV here, floating quite a bit of resources, will want to keep all 3 archery ranges producing consistently as long as there's resources in the bank for that. Unless the plan is to drop more TCs and boom, but Fire Scream TV doesn't strike me as the boomy type. 1 TC here, aggression, another mining camp going up to maximize gold in combat. Yeah, and production back on track now with 3 ranges producing the crossbows. Sanders will struggle for the necessary Knights numbers here. Only 9 villagers on gold. That's not enough to sustain 3 stables. You can sustain 1.5 stable maximum with this kind of mass. Now Fire Scream TV is targeting the farms here, and again getting great value for the forward. 13 villagers killed now, actually establishing a villagers lead now and idling Sanders as well. Sanders, who has been forced to invest into Knights at home here. With the mobility of the Franks, you could use the mobility you have and go for a counter-attack. And as archers don't have that kind of speed, you may be able to force Fire Scream all the way back. But if we look at the resources of Fire Scream here, it's a no-brainer to go into some pikes at home to keep any counter-attack of a few stray Knights out here. Second TC, good call from Sanders as well, although it will impact Knights production. It will allow for defense against crossbows. Yeah, Fire Scream will want to lose lots of crossbows. They've still proven their value though. If you look at the 15 villagers killed and a 5 villagers lead for Fire Scream TV, but not quite really, because Handcart is in for Ilsanders, which will have let the villagers collect 20 resources before dropping off and generally moving a bit faster. So the Franks eco better here, considering the overall eco upgrades and the fact that handcart is in, which is very useful for economy for Knights production. Yeah, Firescreen TV needs to add some siege now. There's some hills here that are just golden if you want to go for a forward siege workshop to push here. Add some pikes so that the Knights can't easily snipe your siege, and start pushing the gold TC here so you could keep Ilsanders off gold. I think that has to be the objective here. Take them off gold, then they can't make Knights. There's not even a market here for Ilsanders, so if Ilsanders is pushed up gold, there's no way gold is accessible for Knights production. I really want to see some pikes or monks or something out there. Monks make maybe the more sense here. There's gold in the bank, and there's still not a too frightening mass of knights here to deal with the crossbows. A couple of monks mixed in here would be just very precious for Firescreen TV, especially here, because the monks could also heal up the crossbow mass and obviously get conversions in the knights. So two or three monks here to heal up the unit mass and to convert it into knights. It changes the matchup completely here, and it's 15 crossbows to 8 knights. It's a good call of Ilsanders not to engage until at least 2 or 3 more knights are in the mix here. Here we go. It's going to go for them. Ethiopian's faster firing crossbows, though. We don't mess around with those. Ballistics is in as well. It makes it a lot easier for Firescreen TV to take out moving targets. But the knights will get sort of a surround here. Choke point for the crossbows. Deletes the lumber cap. I don't know why he deleted the lumber cap, actually. Because that was a better choke point before the lumber cap. Could have been a misclick. I don't know. Stupid Ethiopian archers, yeah, they're quite annoying to be up against. But Ilsanders has successfully weathered the storm here, has slightly higher idle tease time, but has 2 teas is producing, while the Ethiopian players just pumping out the crossbows and, yeah, keeps consistent production at home as well. And before the knights can do proper damage here, they need to... Oh, never mind. There's an opening. I was going to say they need to break through the walls of Firescreen TV, but Ilsanders should definitely take a little peek over to the other side here and see if there are any overdrops, because that would be a fantastic point of entry for some counter raids in the admittedly already fragile economy of Firescreen TV here. There's stone investment for Firescreen TV as well. Tells me you might want to drop a castle over here. This is a fantastic castle spot for Firescreen because it denies this gold, and then Ilsanders will be forced over here to access more gold. That's it though. Ilsanders taps out, calls the GD, and the loss of villagers to crossbow raids yet again. It's just too much. Never able to get the crucial mass of knights to deal with the crossbow mass, and even then, the Ethiopians have the free pikeman upgrade. And looking at the resources in the bank, Firescream's economy goes, although idling more in the early game, goes undisturbed at home. Scouts stopped effectively by walls. First game goes to Firescreen TV. We'll be going to Ilsanders' home map, which will be either Nomad or Four Lakes. So let's, after a look at the stats, let's see what they have for us. More eco for the Ethiopians, undisturbed as said, and forward castle to come as well. Or defensive, depending if you want to keep raids out completely. Eco upgrades seem slightly more consistent to this game for Firescreen TV, but that's not necessarily a giveaway, with the higher idle TC time not doing them any favors. Game 2 coming up. Let's have a look. Guys here. Nomad is next, and we have Spanish versus Malians in the matchup here. Classic Nomad Civs. But it is Ilsanders' home map, so could be lots of things to come here. Ilsanders with the one of the top tier nomad civs, if you ask me, the Malians. You are able to dock instantly, place a house, and produce a fishing ship, and build your TC because of the Malians wood savings bonus for buildings. So, looking for a spot to place TC. Looks like this is going to be the TC spot for Ilsanders, possibly. That's woodland and a stone here. Woodland and a gold here, sorry. There it goes. I don't know why you pull that villager all the way over there. We're going to drop the house. Now, this is just personal preference, but personally, when I have the docking villager, I usually place a house, then the dock, and then shift task the villager to go to the shore fish. Because then I'll be able to produce a fishing ship immediately, and here it's in the queue for Ilsanders. Needed the house before producing the fishing ship, because otherwise you'd be at 0 population space here. They spawn quite close together. Fire Scream here with the Spanish, building faster, but so he'll complete the TC way ahead of Ilsanders actually. But being the Spanish, you want to get to those conquistadors most likely. The faster building builders of the Spanish lets you drop castles more aggressively, more easily. And wait a minute, Fire Scream hasn't docked. Fire Scream didn't dock. This is already amazing for Ilsanders here. Yes, the DT goes up a little bit later, but that fishing ship is already out, and that is providing food income for Ilsanders. Fire Scream is going for some long distance hunt here and has placed the DT on bears as well, so there will be food income. But if you want to pull off a fast castle age with the Spanish here, you need to dock and contest the water. You can't give Malians the free fish boon. That's like handing them the win. Now I only hope that Ilsanders will scout this, as you can do once you're on the way to the feudal age on Nomad or any naval map. You want to scout the shoreline. You can do it with sheep as well, to look around the edges of the map to see if the opponent has docked. Because if Fire Scream hasn't docked, there's no reasons whatsoever for Sanders to invest into naval military, which means more fish. You have a source of food that will not be obstructed whatsoever, and you'll just have an amazing uptime to the Castle Age and maybe even the Imperial Age if it goes on. Now, as this is a Nomad start, I'll be fast forwarding it a little bit. Dark Age aggression on Nomads, usually nothing too crazy. I don't think they know each other's locations here, unless they saw the treaty unit. Yeah, it's definitely going to make at least one military unit on water, probably a lot more. It's like Nomad automatics, you challenge water, even if you didn't scout the enemy. But as far as the situation goes now, no dock whatsoever for Fire Screen TV. Is going to go for full-on land aggression here. Here comes the barracks. We're probably going to see the stable or even a drush here, feudal age coming on the way. Okay. And Ilsanders on the home map here, reaching the feudal age, queuing a fire galley for reasons unknown. But it comes down to scouting intel, of course. 2 docks here. Ilsanders really wants to contest water. Makes 2 fire galleys! Oh, there's nothing to contest. This is such a waste. Oh, it hurts my eyes to see this. Well, one fishing ship is scouting the shoreline, so... I mean, yeah, you could keep 1 or 2 fire galleys handy at home, just in case something happens, but, I mean, scouting goes first. Surely you can expect the opponent to have docked, but please, oh please don't overextend there. There's no reason for it. Better safe than sorry. A truth with certain modifications. I'd say 1 or 2, that's fine. That's fine for defense. But 3, that's already overextending it. 2 docks so close as well. I don't hate that. That's good for army reinforcement if some migration should happen. And you could move to the right with 1, you could move to the left with 1, but you always want to dock the corners of the map, because there's always better deep fish down the corners. I walk a little bit extra for the docks on Nomad maps because of that reason. Of course, you could always drop your second dock later. Anyway, fish investment certainly paying off here. Just have a look at the eco count here, 33 to 28. So Ilsanders establishing a lead here, and maybe a 3rd dock over here as well. Some preemptive walling, but that's obviously fine. Going to wall this section presumably as well, and then everything should be good to go. Could take this war and mill it, though a little bit risky to land aggression, of course. And now the barracks is up. The range is up for Fire Scream. Are we going to see Spanish archers here? And color me confused, would Ilsanders think now, but did at least stop the fire galley investment. Could make more fish, could go castle age here if the appropriate buildings are in place. Here comes the barracks, so I guess we're going to see Ilsanders going forward. Knights or camels on land here. And somehow, with free fish boom as the Malians here, uncontested, Fire Screen TV is the first one up to the next stage here, albeit with a much weaker economy. Alright boys, just get back home, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. You should spam what? Just for fun? Alconer, you need to ban this guy. He's writing in offensive English. Yeah, I can't time you out. You'd lose mod status if I did, just for fun. But language, man. Language. So, realizing that they are close to each other, they're both playing the range here. Castle Age is in first for Fire Screen TV here. Could buy that last 150 stone to drop the castle, but we'll probably just keep probably just gonna keep harvesting until the gold count, stone count is on point. A bit lacking scouting intel for Fire Screen TV here, otherwise that castle could definitely just go up here and seriously cripple the gold in combo build Sanders, or at least force a relocation. But the walls are up for the purple player here, should be safe from aggression for now. Yeah, why is purple landing farms? Good question. It is more efficient than fish in terms of distance, as you can see, so that could be why. But if the plan is archers, then you don't need a lot of food in combo as well, so a little bit too early for the farms with free naval control. I'm moving around, constantly scouting for blue docks here, and probably just scratching his ears or head or whatever to wonder what the heck is going on there. Well, Knight is out for Fire Screen TV here. Did probably make the table for Conquistador upgrades like Husband V and Bloodlines. I don't know what the range though, what that's supposed to accomplish, because the archery range upgrades, they don't benefit the Conquistadors by any means. I don't like that castle. I don't love this castle either, but it protects the stone for further castles. However, with just a tiny bit of scouting, a couple of outposts over here, something, then Fire Scream would be able to drop a castle on the gold and deny both the TC, the farms, and the golds here. So, could have been done differently for sure. Crossbows are out for Ilthanders. They are not going to get far with this castle right in their face. But they get to weaken one of the knights here. I guess it makes sense to go crossbows against Spanish with the Conquistadors, because the Conquistadors, they will always outrun and focus down your knights if they get a decent number. Husbandry and Bloodlines applies to fire and hit points for the movement speed and hit points for the Conquistadors. So at some point, Fire Scream TV will want to get that. Same goes for the armor class of these mounted gunpowder units. It's cavalry archer armor that applies to the Conquistadors. Spanish just need to add mangoes, and purple will struggle, I think. Depends on your micro as well, though. I mean, yeah, 3 mangonels, or 2 even, then crossbows don't stand a chance, but the Malians have such cheap transitions, technology transitions as well with their cheaper wood buildings. Oh, good scouting here. Gonna find that gold by luck. That's so lucky from Firescreen TV here to find the other gold here and find some builders. That's going to be one builder down for Il Sanders. 2. 3. Oh, I don't think purple is seeing this. Oh, 4 builders. Bye. Oh, man. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I guess the crossbows were busy with some micro... Yeah, the purple has lost focus a little bit here. Losing crossbow to Castle Fire, moving through here, trying to find counter damage. Oh, moving out here, denying the market. I like that. And, yeah, off the gold there, of course, there are Conquistadors guarding that. 2 Conquistadors killing 4 builders. That's amazing. They have such 16 attack. TC on the gold. Usually a good idea, but imagine the second Spanish castle going up here, then both your TCs are useless. So that is far from ideal. If blue sees this, if blue sees that TC going up, then the next castle should 100% be going up here for Firescreen TV. Firescreen being raided by crossbows though, and losing some builders as well. The overall eco situation is 46 to 44, but that is also 7 fish for Il Sanders. Looks like Firescreen wants to chase the crossbowmans with Conquistadors here. I'm not sure if that's the best idea, given the range is 6 for the Conks and should be 7 for the crossbows, and you'll need a larger mass to to deal with them. It's 14 crossbows. 8 or 9 Conquistadors then, I think, maybe. But then again, Bloodlines isn't in, so you don't... No, don't take the fight before Bloodlines! Okay, Lid snipe there, I guess it's fine. 2. Not loving that. Unless there's some plans of switching into full cavalry here, that could be the case. There's enough stone for another castle now for Firescreen TV. Actually getting good value from the conks here. But that next castle needs to go up. ASAP. Needs to go up on the 2 TCs here. And it's going to deny more than half of Il Sanders' economy here. Purple needs ballistics. Well, the university is up, so it's on the way. Malian's universities work 80% faster as well, so that's pretty fast ballistic for the Malians once they go for it. Now Kongs won't stand a chance. It's true. Thumbring even coming in here for Sanders, so maybe Sanders get back into this. The castle or castles should keep crossbows out. I guess a castle should... It can't go up forward anymore. It could still go up here though for Firescreen. I think it's the plan. I think the castle goes up here now, even with the crossbows pushing. Let's see if Il Sanders sees that. They will see the castle foundation. Oh, could get a lot of builders killed here. Could get lots of builders. Why did Firescreen open that? Is it a debate? Is he actually trying to lure the crossbows into... What is this? What? Woohoo! Juicy fight for Il Sanders here, establishing a massive economic lead now. And the castle will go up because the Spanish builders build faster, but at what cost? That's like 15 builders down. 15 builders dead for one castle. Amazing trade for Il Sanders. Doesn't need to worry at all about the... crossbows going down. They're 100% worth it to get so many builder kills for these 15-20 crossbows going down. If we see any resources here, Il Sanders could... I guess the food eco is a little bit too fragile here, but could try to aim for the Imperial Age. Maybe you'll sell stone, buy food, go imp. Wait, you'll need a castle for crabs, so scratch that. But, yeah. Double up on the food investment, maybe some more fish as well. Still controlling water, and just get to the Imperial Age ASAP and beat the Spanish to it. Then castles doesn't matter that much. Yeah, well, I was thinking you could sell the stone and buy food for Imperial Age, but you'll need the stone for a castle if you want to contest the castle with trebuchets. Okay, here comes the third castle for the Spanish, and here comes the defensive castle from Ilsanders, but the Conquistadors will want a word in on that. Crossbow mass is still back online for Ilsanders though. Castle won't be going up just yet. Also, not lobbing the castle, it's blocking farms, and it's not really protecting anything else than this TC. And with Bodkin Arrow, I think this castle ranges this one, but this might not necessarily range that one. Maybe it reaches the castle. With fletching, I guess the Spanish castle will reach this foundation. And Conquistadors getting some trades here in Sanders' space, but it's 25 builders lead now for Sanders. Certainly still keeping that economic advantage, and the military situation is ahead as well. It's all about the Conquistadors for Firescreen TV here, but the food and golden economy not really allowing for triple castle consistent production here, so the crossbows will still win here. Oh, it's going to be ram push here now on the castles, I guess the castles. I guess even Scorpions to accompany the crossbows makes sense against the Conquistadors for the area effect damage. 2 rams, that's not going to be enough. That's just not going to... The Conquistadors alone could take out these rams rather quickly with their gunpowder damage, but castles will also have to choose whether to focus down crossbows or the rams here. These house foundations, the rams will enter. Battering rams in the castle age, though, easily focused down by builders, by Conquistadors. And you'll need lots of them to take out castles. I'd say just more fishing ships, more farms, get to Imperial Age, and use trebuchets instead now that the castle is up. But still, Ilsanders well in the lead here. Good eco lead, good army lead. As messy as it is, the Malian's player is certainly in a good spot here. Forcing Firescreen to react as well, of course, still making Conquistadors exclusively, and obviously not going to see any Imperial Age anytime soon. These are the bars showing the resources needed for the next age, and the buildings for that matter, so Firescreen TV, they both have castles, so they have that counts as 2 buildings needed for the next age. Blue needs to focus on the archers from Castle Pyre. Yeah, but I think with castles on either side here, that's not going to be a big issue. One castle might go down here for Firescreen TV, and the flood of rams. Is this an all-in ish castle age? No, not really. Ilsanders actually going Imperial Age here, so when Imperial Age kicks in, that should be GG for Firescreen TV. Because with trebuchets out, no more castles, no more conquistadors for the Spanish, and no economy for a plan B. Stone shaft mining! Firescreen really wants more castles up, but the Malians have this game in the pocket. Why is he diving 3 castles with crossbows? I have no idea. It would seem that Firescreen TV has his own player playing Nomads, no Doc, no Mangonels, because Siege is cheating. We only want to win making Conquistadors exclusively. Fletching, of course, would be ideal. Yeah, the castles benefit from fletching and Bodkin Arrow, so that's true as well. more ramps going down. There's lots of wood and gold going down into ramps for Ilsanders, but the Imperial Age is only 1 minute away now. There's 92 villagers to 73, and there's still twice the military with the crossbows that will, even if Malians don't get bracers, still get arbalest. And looks like some raid potential here with the light cab as well, with the Malians getting Parimba from the castle to grant +5 attack to the cavalry line units, all of the cavalry. So, insisting upon the conks here, 11 conquistadors now for Fire Scream TV as the crossbows get some hits in again. Ballistics is in, all the upgrades except for Arbalest is in. You should definitely get Arbalest here in the Imperial Age. And there should definitely queue traps as well, and they are being queued. lots, 53 on foot. Fish, farms, okay, that should make for some nice light cav raids. Although lacking a lot of upgrades for the cavalry line units. Where is that Arbalest upgrade? There are 25 crossbows here. Definitely worth that Arbalest upgrade for more effect against the conquistadors. Skirmishers are in here for Fire Screen TV, but the Malians light cab should deal with that. They need upgrades though. And why is there... Why? Okay, there's 5 TCs pumping villagers here. That's apparently where most of the food is going. I don't understand with 50 on food how there can't be more more light cavalry production. I guess there's a limited number of stables here. But, oh, get that army out. Here comes Arb Chemistry. Nice. And these trebuchets are protected by Castle Fire. Now the crossbows soon to be Arbalest will be moving over as well, so that the conquistadors can't snipe the trebs. They might be able to get one though, because they have such high damage output, but that will mean sacrificing a lot of conquistadors again for Fire Screen TB here. Tries to jump the other side. Will Sanders be able to repair? Not really. There's enough stone for another castle as well, wherever that might go. And the Treb lives to see another day as Arbalest kicks in as well, as we can see. Not giving the Malians much more than a little bit more hit points on the units, but useful upgrade regardless. Fire Scream TV going to the Imperial Age as well. 300 stone, but spending a lot on repairs here with a whooping 27 villagers repairing here. And it's going to be all conquistadors and skirmishers here for Fire Screen TV. And skirmishers, of course, make sense against the Arbalesters, but Ilsanders will be making those Farimba light cab. Bloodlines coming in. Attack and defense upgrades should be on the way as well. And now more conquistadors, even with the hill bonus, don't stand a chance against the Arbalests here. Army number is comparable here, but these are still Castle Age skirmishers with only +1/+1 here, so the Arbs will slay them. No problem. Here enter the light cab to deal with them as well. Castle stays up for Fire Scream TV, maybe a little bit one-sided here for Ilsanders, but economy still much healthier, and the Arb Mass intact. Light Cab joining in here. Do they have Farimba or something? Malian's unique upgrade from the castle gives those cavalry units +5 attack, and if this castle goes down, that's going to open up for a lot of light cavalry raids in this direction as well. But Ilsanders will need to make more, of course. Needs more production buildings, more stables, more upgrades, more everything. Spend the resources. So much food in the bank. Keep producing units, army, anything as the castle goes down. Nice, nice. Time to keep pushing. Yeah, still the Conquistadors for blue, but the GG is called. Ilsanders wraps this game up with questionable investment on the naval early on, but only 3 fire galleys after all, which would have made a difference defensively if Fires DB at some point invested into water. Never did. Big mistake on Nomad with all this free food for the fishing ships to take. Just always dock on Nomad or lakes or hybrid and water maps. There is no way around it. It's just too much free food to be taken. Alright, let's pull up the maps again. First home map of Firescreen TV will be either Scandinavia or Golden Pit. So let's just dive into it. Actually, let's note the civs used first. We had Ethiopians beating the Franks at first, and then we have the Malians beating the Spanish, which leaves us for Golden Pit. That's probably going to be the Mayans, or even Aztecs for Golden Pit. Aztecs maybe. And Scandinavia, Britons to range over the woodlands, or Bulgarians for Krepos for map control and pushing that way. While Ilsanders, Golden Pit is seen frequently, at least in team games, on with Berbers, so that could be a good one. And Mongols make sense as well with the potential of Mangudai and castles when controlling the middle. So let's see. Let's pull up the game replay of game 3. Golden Pit is this, and it's Aztecs Berbers. I do favor Aztecs here if they are able to assume the middle because of all the gold. Mesosibs, since they lack the light cab for raiding in the late game, having access to almost unlimited gold, that's just massive for them. On the other hand, if you want to play the Eagles, for example, as the Aztecs, you can't really do that against the Berbers, because if the Berbers gets to the Castle Age, they have 50% cheaper cavalry, and they'll be able to spam out cavalry and deal with the Eagles that way. And in the very late game, Aztecs don't get halberdiers either. So Berbers cavalry, even if they don't like Paladin, they stand a good chance with their cheap spam. Aztecs military buildings produce faster, or is it just the barracks? I don't remember. I think it's military buildings. Maybe just the barracks. Anyway, so Aztecs produce military a little bit faster, which can come in handy, of course. And they have monks that get extra hit points, which is obviously the early cavalry's kryptonite. Is the monks that could get conversions in, and with the Aztecs getting all of the upgrades for the monks, basically, and getting 5 hit points for the monks per upgrade makes it a lot more difficult to make light cab or other units. It could be that the Berbers will need to go into crossbows or some ranged initiative to deal with monks, actually. Because knights alone, even if they're cheap and you can mass them, it's not necessarily enough. So, I have to admit I don't remember if laming is allowed or not in medieval tourney. But on Golden Pit, the boars tend to spawn very forward. So if you wanted to go for a lame, especially as the Aztecs with the eagle that you could always heal up in the TC, you could easily go for a boar lame. Gonna find the last 4 sheep here. Hopefully, yeah. And boar spawned forward as well. Did one boar already get taken? There we go. And that's gonna be a barracks, is it? Pre-build rush? No. 2 houses. A little bit of idle time at home field for Firescreen TV. But it would make a lot of sense for Aztecs to open with either militia or men-at-arms here, because they start with 50 extra gold. Makes it possible to go for a 5 militia rush, for example, with only a little bit of extra gold investment, or your standard 3 militia rush without needing to take 50 gold at all. But it's not going to be the pre-mill rush here. The mill goes up on the berries here, and the ostrich is right next to it as well. Wonderful mill spot here for Fire Scream. And that's actually a bit unfair, because the ostrich are in the back for Ilsanders here. I think it did push one as well. But berries in front, ostrich in the back, so you can't mill both here for the purple player. Well, second board being brought in, mill going up on the berries as well. A very forward berries, all the more reason to go for early aggression here with the Aztecs, to go for the infantry. 22 population is the conventional old school men-at-arms into archers build orders. That might still be an option here. If we see Fire Scream going with 2 villagers to gold at 20 pop, then that's probably going to be the play here. There's enough wood for a barracks as well. And of course you can go straight for the archers as well, but that doesn't make sense if you ask me. Berbers, militia going out here, so it's going to be a drush for Ilsanders after the mill, but that's fine. The gold, or the basic idea of sending militia forward in the Dark Age like this is to annoy the enemy, so you'll have time to wall off here, get your full base fully walled, so that you can secure economy for a quicker castle age. Barracks goes up for Fire Screen TV as well, and looks like it's going to be the archers, actually. Straight archers for the Aztecs here, or even straight eagles. Who am I to judge? 21 pop up here, or it's the fact that I forgot that. It could still be the men-at-arms, because Aztecs starting with 50 extra gold, that allows you to get 3 men-at-arms and the men-at-arms upgrade without mining gold at all. So Ilsanders might have seen right through this, the fact that Aztecs might go men-at-arms, and if you open with a rush, you'll be able to intercept the men-at-arms before they become men-at-arms, or at the very least to force the men-at-arms to perform defensively, and hence succeeding in walling your base at home for Ilsanders. So this rush should certainly still be worthwhile. Is Loom even in here? Loom is in, and Ilsanders blocks with the scout on one side and kills villagers on the other with the barracks. That's some great rush aggression. Fantastic value for the rush already. He might even get the second villager, but needs to pull away here. Good opening from Ilsanders. So there's the feud late for our blue player. I didn't see any men-at-arms or infantry at all. What's the plan here? I think Fire Screen TV might have been expecting scouts and preparing for that. Not going to gold at all, but going to food and wood to make some spearmen for defense to wall off the base and get to the castle age and make the monks or the eagles and claim the middle that way. An eagle scout could still snipe one stray villager, and just now Ilsanders is going to the gold here. Bit late to go to gold, but with enough villagers on gold you might still be able to pull off a decent fast castle off this. Looks like the rush aggression has been dealt with, as Fire Scream has stabilized here. No, it's moving back in with the... Oh, what? Where have these guys been? Feels like a bit of a mistake for Ilsanders to move the rush out, but I guess it was intentional to get some scouting intel in, or deal with trying to track Fire Scream's movement. Feudal Age is in for Ilsanders now as well. 4 on gold, 9 on food. Men-at-arms coming in! And a range. Okay, so we're not going to see cavalry spam anytime soon. With men-at-arms in, it makes it easier to break through the houses now that they have negative armor. but they won't be breaking in anytime soon. And the men-at-arms upgrade got cancelled, actually. Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. They are weakened, and they won't be getting inside for further damage potential. On Ilsander's side, Fire Scream is here with Eagle just gathering consistent intel here. Didn't find the range. That's well hid away by Ilsanders here. And now lacking 350 food for the Cat Lage, walling up. Something that will be obstructed maybe a little bit by Fire Scream. Still don't quite understand what Fire Scream is planning here. Building is going to be going up here now. Could be the... Okay, so it's the market. 1 out of 2 buildings needed for the next age. Long distance hunting the ostrich and just repairing with minimal efforts here to keep the opponent out. So, Blacksmith Market. Behind all this, I guess the Rush Past Castle player is going to be the first one to the next age here. They were both kind of late to go. The farming eco looks healthier for Ilsanders here. You'll need 5 or 6 farms to sustain one town center consistent production, but then another 6 for generic knights. But considering the 15% discount on the Berbers, I guess you could get away with 5 for knights. So 14 farms should be enough to keep the TC and 1 stable producing, but there isn't any stable here for Ilsanders. There is 6 on gold though, so I assume that 1 or 2, maybe even 3 stables will pop up at some point here. Archers are out forward as well. That's probably not within Fire Scream plans here. Fire Scream somehow makes it to the castle late first, but did have to tweak the economy a little bit by the market to get there. I think Ilsanders does not have a market and will be clicking up shortly. Actually needs the second building. Might have blacksmith range. False alert. Ilsanders kicks up as well, and they're actually going to be going up at the same time here because Fire Scream had Castle HQ behind some builders. Ilsanders is in, still has the militia alive. At this point, you might actually want to go for the men-at-arms because there's nothing here to respond to men-at-arms at this point from Fire Scream TV. Archers going for the gold, perfect. Deny gold of Aztecs or any Meso civilization, and they will struggle. And a few skirmishes that they will be dealt with the militia. Great aggression by Ilsanders here, really stepping up his game here. Maybe feeling confident after that Nomad win to push the Aztecs player. A bit of miss micro there to send the militia inside TC, but they've certainly proving their worth so far. Are we going to see any stables going up here for the Burrows? Still no stables. Still no stables. But 555 wood and still a 200 stone could mean a middle investment with town centers or the likes. Fire Scream forced to fight with villagers here. Fletching is in though, so if you hit and run, you'll still be able to snipe villagers fairly easily. 4 villagers killed. And 7 villagers lead into the castle for Ilsanders. Great aggression. No gold income for Fire Scream. Enough wood for 1 more TC. This is actually a nice TC spot for gold income. But overall, lots of damage done on the Aztecs here. Great early aggression by Ilsanders. Oh, does Ilsanders see this? Crossbow Bodkin coming in, TC going up. Could be quite a few builders lost here. Eagles, in fact, for the Aztecs. And I guess the idea of this TC is to protect the woodland as well. Personally, I think I'd still place it between the two golds here because it would secure a lot of, or all of the gold access. But securing woodline is of course nice against crossbows as well, so I'm sure there's some reasoning behind that. These crossbows can't really get a lot of builders at this point, but they could still snipe farms and idle economy here. Fire Scream, 8 on gold, 0 on food currently, gets the barracks denied. It's only 1 barracks producing the eagles here, as more crossbows enter for Ilsanders here. Are we still not? Oh, there's the stable. 5 little stables from the Berbers here, which will render the eagles switch of Fire Scream almost useless if the cheaper Berbers cavalry enter the field. No upgrades, though. Not blacksmith upgrades, not bloodlines. But then again, you could easily mass them. So this is like 10 knights worth of resources in the bank. So Ilsanders may want to go for numbers over upgrades here. More crossbows in the crossbow and knights. That's a deadly combo. He's in the middle, so Ilsanders establishing some middle presence. I'd like to see a couple of villagers on stone as well, so we could get castles up in the middle. But I mean, military advantage is going to play into Ilsanders' favor as well. Eco advantage on point as well, both with wheelbarrow, comparable eco upgrades, but yeah, generally better flow of resources for Ilsanders here, and more villagers working. Those knights will need more upgrades though to contest the eagles, as +1/+1 is in for the eagle warriors here, and they're dirt cheap for a unit. They produce more quickly from the Aztec barracks, and you only need gold and a tiny bit of food to get to them. Alright, so I look at the military count again, 11 to 7 here, but a stronger one, for sure. For Ilsanders, knights and crossbow, that's a deadly combination almost against any civilization if you get the proper mass. The house walls keeping the erosion out, so crossbows not being used to the max of their potential here. These quick houses behind could easily be denied by the crossbows, so that the knights can enter. Only +1 defense, but I guess attack is more important at this point to deal with eagles, although there are only 8 eagles. And if Ilsanders keeps control over the middle, Fire Screen is going to run out of gold eventually as well. This 6 times 8, it's like 4,800 gold or something. Ten knights and counting here for Ilsanders, and that's more knights than there are eagles. That is going to make it hard to resist the Berbers' aggression entering the Aztecs base now. Eagles can't really engage. They could take out the crossbows, which would be value, but then the knights will run in. +2 defense is on the way. It is 2 town centers for both players, but Ilsanders still keeping that lead and did kill 6 villagers earlier on, so with lower idleness time and more villagers killed, the purple player is setting up for the victory yet again here. One monk is out for the Aztecs, but generic monk at that, no upgrades whatsoever just yet. We'll probably get a conversion here, but the Knights mass 17 Knights now. Berbers, so scary at this point when they are allowed to freely engage here. Stone being bind for a potential forward castle as well. Could go up in the back here. GG Nub. What the hell is that supposed to be? Anyway, let's have a look at the stats and we'll hop into game number 4. Fire Scream's second home map being Scandinavia. Massive eco difference here. Berbers again not really being challenged at home. Very, very good early aggression by Ilsanders, I have to say. Uptime's comparable here, especially the cast stage, but I think there was some market tweaking there for Fire Scream to get up to that next age. 69 builders max, didn't lose a single one. Nice. Okay, let's go to the draft again just to show the overview here. We just saw Aztecs losing to Berbers on Golden Pit. We'll be going to Scandinavia, where I kind of expect to see Japanese for the faster working fish and their land aggression potential, but Mongols... No, it's going to be Mongols for Scandinavia actually, because there's extra hunt. Okay, so Mongols. And then what do you pick to deal with Mongols? Mayans, cheaper walls for defense, Bulgarians for Krepos and Stirrups Hussars to contest the Mongols Hussars, or Britons with the extra range to at least deal with Mangudai from a distance. Maybe Mongols, Britons, let's have a look. Game 4, Scandinavia, Mongols, Britons. Ah, I got it right for once. So this is Scandinavia. It's also in the pool for mid-ELO medieval 30. It's a map with water spawning on either side, sometimes in the north or this side, diagonal, sometimes in the, what should we even call this? It's like east and west or north and south. Anyway, always going to be water on either side. And definitely worth contesting. There's some deep fish. So with a good dock spot on the shorefish and deep fish, you'll have a nice early food boost. However, Mongols could get away with not docking, seeing as Scandinavia has 3 wild boars and 2 patches of hunt. It tends to be on the slower side, like a do-it-yourself arena, because as you can see between the woodlands here, it's very easy to wall off and prevent any early aggression other than towers or maybe archers, depending on how you wall. I'm toggling the path forward a bit here because I'm expecting this game to be a little bit slow to get started with the wall of potential and whatnot. Not loving Fire Scream's gold position here. 2 golds easily denied by 1 castle or 1 massive army here, and then 3rd gold over here, all in the same spot, whereas Ilsanders has 2 of them forward and to the side, but at least much more spread out. Imagine getting castle here. Or even here with Bodkin Arrow, then you deny almost 3 golds for 1 castle. I'm not really a big fan of the Britons map currently. Fire Scream, being the Britons, will be going for the archers into crossbows into Arbalest here. No question about it. It is their home map as well, so there must be some plan behind it. Should be an easy wall off on either side here, so I don't expect any early feudal age aggression here like Drushes or Minotaurs. Drush, pretty mill Drush, probably the only option to deal some proper damage early enough here. So that's why I'm speeding it up a little bit here, because again, I don't really think there's going to be too much happening. They don't dock, neither player has docked, but that could be the distance as well. It's pretty far off, so it might be a reasonable choice. Ooh, okay, 21 pop up here for the Britons. That's usually straight archers for the Britons. Whereas the Mongols player is dropping the barracks on the way to the feudal age and will be going for the scouts, or yeah, the scouts here, I think. I am not a huge fan of the scouts' investment here with the Mongols, I have to say. Steel Sanders has already seen the walls going up here. Must know that the scouts won't be able to do a whole lot here. Fire Screen TV with the barracks here. Okay, I was talking about the straight archers, but since the barracks wasn't even up, then that's going to be... I don't know what we're looking at here. Are we looking at this naked fat cattle crossbows here, possibly? I guess the scouts could, in theory, obstruct that, but with the barracks up, you could make spearmen to deal with them, so... Shouldn't work. The scouts shouldn't work here. Hill Sanders, 3 scouts, certainly provide some map control and some scouting intel, but I think you should stop at 3 scouts at this point, because you need to break through the walls to deal some proper damage. We need to drop a forward tower to break in or something for this to succeed. Yep. So, kind of a repeat of the first Arabia game here with the Franks scouts of Il Sanders. The scouts not able to break through the early walls of the Britons, and on Scandinavia, to be honest, should be expected. I'm very surprised not to see the players docking, though, as that's a nice food post boot to go from early on here. But I guess if the legs had spawned in on this side instead, it would be closer and we'd be seeing some docks here. At least for Il Sanders, being a seasoned Nomad player from the home map pick. So I think we're going to be seeing some feudal age aggression from the Britons here as well. Spear is out. Oh, pop out the spear on this side and you deal with both the scouts because you block them. Yeah, no luck for the scouts. You could also use archers from the back, but the Fire Scream seems intent on an early cast later. The economies are surprisingly similar here, as Il Sanders now adds the archers as well. Mongols get crossbows and arbalasts, so there's potential for a breakthrough here now with the archers added. No fletching, though. No fletching for the Britons either. So neither player with fletching here. The spears join in, but with 2 archers against 2 spears. If your attention is on point, you'll just snipe the spears and be done with it. Okay. Nice. Good work, well Sanders there, focusing down the 2 spears. And we'll now be breaking through the first layer here, but in the meantime, Fire Scream is house walling behind and delaying any further aggression. Making a few more archers, but in general just aiming for the castle age here by the looks of it. Harvesting the food needed, and now 5 on gold to double up on the gold income to proceed to the next age. Archer's numbers comparable here. Neither player with fletching. Wheelbarrow coming in, and then the cast age in the queue behind that for Il Sanders, right? Yep. So going to beat the Britons to the cast age here. 9 on food, 9 on gold, 14 on wood. Second range, I think, will be needed for Fire Scream TV here to make use of the resources being brought in here. The archer numbers are increasing though, and with the castle age kicking in, the Britons will be getting 1 extra range as well, so it's much easier to defend from behind the walls. I don't know if this is auto scout or standard scout, but Fire Scream is collecting some scouting intel across the map, and now didn't take a single villager loss. Did lose 2 spearmen, but that's not a big deal. However, castle age is of huge importance here for Fire Scream, otherwise the Mongols player will be getting far ahead here. Not mining stone yet, so not straight into the Mango Day in the Castle Age here, but you could easily justify some knights against, yeah, or something to send in front against the enemy archers. But looks like it's going to be the archers and potentially skirmishers here for Ilsanders, as also makes sense against the Britons, with the archers and crossbows being their go-to. Bringing back the sheep as well that were found in front of the base of Fire Screen TV. Oh, not a too scary bass elite skirmisher coming in for the 3 skirmishers. I mean, it's always useful, handy to have skirmishers against the Britons. Get some pickups here as well. And no crossbow bodkins are going to stay with the feudal age archers here, with scouts in front want to break through here again. Elite skirmishers should keep the Britons out, at least until the Castle Age, where Britons get the range advantage. Yeah, nice pick-offs here, really eating in on the Britons' numbers here, but then there's the fact that the Britons' archery just work 20% faster, so it's much easier to replenish Britons' archers' numbers. Good households again from Fire Screen TV here, so keeping the aggression out. But that should be a cue for Ilsanders to start mining some stone maybe, and get a castle up to deny a lot of resource access over here, for example the golds over here. Mainly skirmishers, which will help keep the Britons' numbers at bay here. Against any other civilization, I would say add some siege as well, Mangonel, Scorpion, something with Britons with their extra range. Not as easy, it's not that simple, but the forward siege workshop seems to be going up here for the Mongols, and Ilsanders is going to double up on the aggression here. So let's have a look at the armies here. Britain's knights, but good reaction to the skirmishers, of course. There's only skirmishers out for Ilsanders at this point. There's going to be siege, but neither skirmishers nor siege weapons counter cavalry. So the cavalry reaction, that is a good one from the Britons here. Only one knight, gonna need maybe a few more as another town center goes up on the wood line in the back as well, and some more walls to keep any raids from entering the backside of the base here. Oh, that's open though. Yeah, you're not gonna break through walls easily with skirmishers only, but 17 of them now, not too shabby. Second armor coming in as well. Even the knights will need to use more hits to deal with them. No upgrades whatsoever on the knights. Only one TC for Ilsanders, so one TC, full skirmishers, and floating huge masses of gold, not being put into the war efforts here. Alright, enter the crossbows. They do have 5+3 range, so they outrange the elite skirmishers. If played from behind the walls here, then Fire Screen TV could use that to massive advantage, even against the unit that's supposed to counter the Britain's crossbows. Alright, is Fire Screen going to allow Sanders to break in here? Skirmishes in front with Mangonel behind. That could mean that the Britain's crossbow masses are in danger here. The palisade goes down, the skirmishes enter. Now send the siege over as well. Don't be afraid to break in here, I think, could idle a lot of the gold. That's also the only gold. I actually love the fact that Il-Sanders is staying in this area, because that's where the gold is. But enter the knights here. 4 knights hidden away by Fire Scream. I don't think Il-Sanders scouted that at all. So the stable was hidden away, that knight switch was sneaky as heck, and the siege and skirmishes will be going down just like that. And just like that, Firescreen DB is back with the upper hand here as well, as it looks like the Mongols player is preparing some kind of fast Imperial Age here, but I'm not sure what that's going to give here in this case, with only skirmishers to benefit from that. Camels being made could make a whole lot more, of course, but when there's a huge chunk of crossbows out, then camels won't really be as efficient either. The knights are in. They are chasing skirmishers, and a TC gets denied as well. There's going to be lots of villager losses for Il-Sanders here. Only 1 TC over here. No defenses whatsoever other than the skirmishers, but the knights will slay the skirmishers, especially now that they have +1 defense in. Yes, Britons don't get bloodlines, but they still get full blacksmith upgrades, and at this point Fire Screen TV doesn't even care about town center fire, maybe even recognizing that the town center is in fact not garrisoned here. So villagers get sniped along the way. 12 villagers killed by Fire Scream, 13 villagers, and the knights dealing with the skirmishers. Il-Sanders is left with 6 military against 26 now, and must be at a loss as to what to deal with here. Getting Thumbring for skirmishers, I assume that's a marginal difference that Thumbring makes for the skirmishers, so I think it would make more sense to go for more skirmishers in that case. Crossbow mass is splitting up, chasing the fleeing villagers. Nope, not going to chase. And regrouping, again that extra range of the Britons showing to their strength here. This is a turnaround for sure. The scouts and archers opening of Il-Sanders really paid off early, but now and it's Fire Screen TV switching it up here and might actually be able to take that take back control over the home map here. Could even go Imperial Age here once the buildings necessary are in. So much food and gold in the bank for the Britons here. Not making crossbows anymore, so that's going to hurt when or if you lose the unit mass here. Trying to chase the fleeing villagers as well, but not quite succeeding. Still no dock from either player, especially surprising from the home map, and maybe not so surprising since Fire Screen TV didn't dock on nomad either. So many villagers going down. This is insane. Twice the builder count now for Fire Screen TV. That's only attributed to the fact that the aggression breaking through at the Mongols home base pays off massively here. Going to lose the crossbow mass, yes, but he's now left with almost 3 times the builders of his opponent, and there shouldn't be any way to come back from this for the Britons, for the Mongols. Sorry. So it's been skirmishers only for a long while for Il-Sanders here. 2 mangonels out again, and the knight is on point yet again. That is 1 mangonel for free for Fire Screen TV here. And only +1 defense for Sanders as well, so that's going to be a decent fight for the knight there, but the camels dealing bonus damage will be dealing with the knights here to end it. Market coming up for Fire Screen TV and Imperial Age coming in here with University and what's the second building? Monastery as the buildings to go to the next stage. Okay. So Il-Sanders is going to keep pushing here, but with Imperial Age 2.5 minutes on the left for Fire Screen TV here, that's going to be a big warning sign for the Mongols here, right? Another market. Maybe Fire Screen forgot that a market had already been placed here. Relic quite close to home base as well, so the monk from the monastery could deal with that. Britons don't get redemption, otherwise you could get redemption monks to convert siege outside the walls as well. So the military count is surprisingly similar here, but with the Imperial Age kicking in and the chance for Arbalest Bracer and Chemistry for the Britons, the crossbow mass should be able to clean this up nicely. Not to mention that the Imperial Age is going to give the Britons another range instantly as well. The Knights run in here. Not enough camels here from the Mongols to deal with the Knights. The skirmishers being sniped from a further distance due to the range as well. 25 seconds now for the Britons for Imperial Age, and with that extra range you could snipe mangonels as well, even more easily. Having 2 more range than the mangonels. Yeah, Insiders is making noble efforts here to stay alive, but the micro is on point for Firescreen TV. The moment I say that, he loses to a Mangonel Blast. All seems very dangerous to try and focus down 3 Mangonels, even with the Britain's range. But now with Imperial Age in, that leaves should leave another range for the crossbows. 5+4 range. Not exactly making use of it though, but I guess trading 10 crossbows for 3 Mangonels is still to be considered value. And now the last few skirmishes going down for Sanders, down to still at half the builders. 40 military to 2, more ranges going up for the Britons, more healthy eco in the bank as the last few upgrades are coming in for the Arbalest, Bracer, and Chemistry as well. Firescream is on stone now, so wants a forward castle up to contest home base of Sanders again with the trebuchets. I guess at this point you could justify dropping some siege workshops and push with cap trams instead as well. And now only 1 military for Sanders, 46 builders, only 2 TCs as opposed to the Britain's 3 as well, and idle these times yet almost comparable. Knights in the making, +2 defense, but against Arbalests, really won't work or shouldn't be working. So the Arbalests are into raid yet again. These are Castle Age crossbows. Of course, if Sanders gets a defensive castle up, that is going to limit any Arbalest raids, but once Firescream is able to get the castle up, then that castle of the Mongols will be very much short-lived, because trebuchets will easily deal with that. GG is called, Sanders has to tap out, and we'll be going to 4 Lakes as the final home map of Sanders. At least getting home map advantage at the very last game here. So 98, 69 KD for Firescream, that is a lot of builder skill. How many builders in the end? 30 builders against only 2 builders killed by Sanders. I will not recommend scouts on Scandinavia in general. It's too easy of a map to wall, so non-ranged units in the early game, except for maybe an aid rush, is usually not going to work out very well for you unless your follow-up is swiftly after, like archers with fletching preferably to back it up, but that's also going to significantly delay your castle age. So if your aggression fails, your opponent is going to be castle age miles ahead of you and just push you back. In this case, Firescream had the perfect counter-aggression after hiding away the stable in the back to deal with the skirmishers, surprisingly, from Sanders. So final map. Not sure if we're going to see Bulgarians or Mayans for Lakes, but I'm going to bet on Bulgarians. And I would be surprised not to see Persians for 4 Lakes, of course. But let's see. My bet is on Bulgarians, Persians. Mayans, Persians, okay. So Mayans with their cheaper archers and amazing economy. Let's see how that plays out for them. The map is 4 Lakes. I'll be toggling the fast forward a bit again, because this map as well, unless we see some crazy scout aggression, tends to lean more towards a wall off and fast castle. It's harder to wall than Arabia and stuff though, because it's larger sections, but you could still get a lot of things done with scouts. And considering the amounts of food at your disposal in the four corners here, if you dock them, then there's lots of potential to be had for food-heavy units like scouts, knights, that sort of thing. Persians here, TCs and docks, they start working faster from the feudal age onwards, 10, 15 and 20% total. So for Persians it makes sense to go for a fairly fast feudal age to benefit from the faster docks and town centers and gain an economic advantage that way. Mayans have longer lasting resources but no direct bonus in that regard. While Mayans have cheaper archers as they progress through the ages, 10th, 20, 30, the Persians have knights with a bonus attack against against archers. So Persians knights deal +2 damage against archers. You can see them scouting the corners, trying to look for the docking villagers and look for a potential villager snipe over here. I will keep an eye on the populations and apps here. Fire Scream with slightly higher idle PC time, but considering the no loom of Ilsanders here, Ilsanders should be a little bit worried about the docking villager, but seeing as we haven't seen Fire Scream place a single dock this set, it's good to see the dock finally going up here. And loom is already in, so Ilsanders can't really contest it either. However, does not go for the shorefish here, so that beginning to wonder whether Fire Screen knows how to play naval hybrid maps at all, or maybe it's just the Fire Screen TV style of playing things, which is fine. Eagle Scout almost going down to TC Fire there, but ends up staying alive as the Ilsanders is going up here to the feudal age well ahead of the Mayans. And since Fire Screen TV is far from fully walled, what I think is going to be the Persian scouts might prove to have some significant value here. Yep, it is indeed the stable for Ilsanders, and look at that food income from the docks that also work more quickly. 3 villagers in the queue, lots of food in the bank still. Could go to gold right away and even go for an early bloodlines here if you're playing the scouts with the Persians here. Beginning the wall off as well. And Fire Screen TV following suit here with a bit higher population up, but still has a long way to go for the full walls and might struggle a little bit against the mobility of the scouts if Ilsander scouts are allowed to enter. It's just a few small wall piles, even a preemptive palisade on the gold here for Fire Scream, so we'll see how it progresses. I like how Ilsander has hid the starting scout in the woodland here, just so it doesn't take any damage before being joined by the comrades for the stable at home. So the walls are going up, and Ilsanders really needs to be over here now to deny these walls from going up, either here or here, but that's one... Oh no, that's not one tile missing actually. Good walling here from Fire Scream. It seems more... leaves more space for expansion later on. This is a fantastic mill spot, by the way, for Hunt and Barris at the same spot. So that's, again, not the same for the two players. Hunt over here for Ilsanders. Bit unfortunate, but these scouts, they need to deny walls. They need to get in before the walls go up. Otherwise, we'll have that issue again. Like don't stand around. Be active with the armies. Oh boy. And I guess they will find their way over here. No spearmen, surprisingly enough, from Fire Screen TV here, as the 3 scouts will enter and take some hits from the archers, but fletching isn't in. So when fletching isn't in, scouts could focus down archers somewhat easily as well. 3 scouts attacking 1 builder there, now focusing on the archer numbers. I like that. There's not really enough villagers underneath the TC to damage the scouts significantly here. To finally, the scouts opening get some value for Will Sanders here on the home map, mind you. Wait, it's not the home map. It's the home map of yeah, it's the home map of Will Sanders. So scouts surely the plan here. Tries a fancy quick wall here for the builder, not going to pay off. And if this keeps up, this could be a short game. But the walls are complete for the Mayans here, and we know that Mayans have amazing economy. So there's certainly a chance that the Mayans come out on top here after all, even losing a couple of builders. Not the end of the world for the Mayans with their longer lasting resources and frustrating camping potential. Certainly good value from these scouts, so not overextending either, which I like. 3 scouts left, no more scouts in the queue. Il Sanders will follow up with the Castle Age and potentially 2 town centers and a couple of stables with the next age. We'll need more builders on gold to justify the multiple stables here. And looks like this builder is going to go down to another quarter to dock now. Il Sanders going borderline greedy here with 2 docks at the same time, but the wood investment certainly warrants that. Now tries to break back out. That's not going to end too well for ill planners, I think. The scouts certainly provided value, though, in the sense that the production of army has been crippled by Fire Squid TV. Scouts go down, but they've served their purpose. Only 2 archers now, while on the way up to the castle age here, while Il Sanders will very likely drop another stable, I think. If it's not just an Omega boom here with the person with the TC here, TC on the woodline maybe, and the dock on this side as well. Looking for the shorefish probably to task the builder to shorefish. Dock up here, 800 wood, so could easily justify more fish in either corner here. I think I'd consider adding a few more over here as well. There's still a few patches of deep fish to be taken, but of course the fishing ships need to travel rather far as well. 8 farms. 3 fish here, 3 fish here. 3 lakes for Il Sanders. That's usually a win condition on its own on 4 lakes. To have 3 out of 4 lakes, it gives you an amazing food economy for the Persians to just pump out knights as long as they have the food and gold for it. Which is bad news for the Fire Screen TV with the Mayans here, because the Mayans would need an additional unit so as to not rely on archers alone against Persians with the bonus damage. So you need monks or pikemen here. Double barracks for Fire Screen TV. I guess this is full spearman pike defense. It's eagles against the Persians. Oh, this is a surprising choice of unit, I have to say, against the Persians here, because with the scouts approach, that's already kind of a giveaway that Sanders wants to go for the cavalry here, and the cavalry with appropriate upgrades, they will just slay Castle Age eagles, even if you could arguably produce eagles more quickly and more easily, having only to rely on your gold income to afford it. More docks. I didn't see gill nets. We could have a look at that actually. No gill nets for Il Sanders. So with this fish investment, I'd say that gill nets is a worthwhile investment as well. It will cost 200, 300 of food and wood, but will have your fishing ships work more quickly and efficiently. 2 TCs to 1, though. It's going to be a single TC Eagles play here for Fire Scream TV, and the only thing that Fire Scream TV has as an advantage here is that Il Sanders can't really read this investment. Scouting isn't quite on point, so you can see a couple of archers here might still expect the crossbow upgrade, but seeing that crossbow isn't in could also be a giveaway that Fire Scream has made a switch into Eagles. As the barracks has the flag on it, this could mean pikemen, so obviously Ilsanders won't be attacking the barracks unless really has to. But the knights move over to the sides here. Look at the eco difference already, 61 to 45 here because of 13 ships to 6 and more town centers producing with a comparable idle TC time between the two. No quick walls possible here for Fire Screen TV, and this might be the deadly game-ending move here. So pikes being mixed in here, but that double stable flood of knights is going to keep up for Ilsanders here. Hope is patrolling here. Actually decides not to take the fight. Will want to wait for more reinforcements. 3 stables producing, all of them here. All of the upgrades in for the infantry for Fire Scream. So I think now I can see how Ilsanders pulled out, but you'd also want to take the fight while you can. If you have fully upgraded knights, you could also risk taking a fight against small numbers of pikes, but now they're increasing already. 4 barracks here for Fire Scream TV, and house walls all over on the top side here. Alright, enter the Eagles for the raids. No preemptive stone walls here for Ilsanders to keep the aggression out. And Fire Scream is doing what Sanders could have done over at Fire Scream's base to split up the raiding groups for maximum, what should I say, efficiency with raids. But looking at the overall economy here, Ilsanders can afford to lose a lot more. Could just send the reinforcements in here to deal with the crossbows. Pike investment that is of a concern here for Ilsanders, but look at the overall situation. It's 19 knights to 14 pikes. I think even if you don't strictly want to, you could challenge the pikes here. Yeah, Sanders pulls out, realizes that fully upgraded pikes are too strong here. No monks here for Sanders to heal up. Triple stable knights will clean up the raids here without taking any too significant losses. And there's still the 3 legs for the Persians with the faster working docks and still no. Wait, I need to see the economy stats here. Still no guild nets for either player. I feel like Sanders is being way too passive here. Could drop a forward siege workshop, add some scorpions, and the infantry investment would be less efficient for Fire Screen TV here. You could even consider getting a castle up for the trash bows, which might be in Sanders' line of thinking here, because the Persians have a unique technology from the castle that will allow their crossbows to cost wood only. And obviously being a crash unit would work very well against the pikes, and not great against the eagles, but it would still work because of the cost efficientness of using only wood instead of wood and gold, food and gold, which is the case for the eagles. Sanders desperately needs a secondary unit against the pikes, so lots of them are weakened, so it could still be fought here, but look at the overall military situation here. Fire Scream has been staying 1 TC for longer, now dropping the second one after the gold being depleted here, and be playing it nice and safe from behind, very patiently at home base here. However, not contesting the lakes is bit of a risk for Fire Screen TV here in the grand scheme of things here. So knights are efficiently being kept out here. Any kind of siege weapon or any secondary unit for Ilsanders would work wonders here, but Ilsanders is probably like me, realizing that 3 lakes on 4 lakes is huge. However you look at it, this is fight you could take, or should take almost, I'd say, against the Pikes, because they're weakened and the Knights are in massive domination numbers here. 3 lakes, big advantage for the food income. You could sell food and stone at this point, being Gil Sanders, and just go for Imperial Age. I see Scorpions being added as well from home base, which is a nice call. You could use them both defensively and offensively this way. Knights getting slaughtered by the infantry investment, but Fire Screen TV at least losing some army momentum as well. Already depleted 1 gold and has 4 barracks. Producing only pikemen now, no more eagles. The eagles never made sense in my opinion, but they did get some good raids in. Even though they only killed 3 villagers, surely it upset Ilsander's economy. They're both using the markets. We could have a look at the market rates here. 63, 118. Should be the same, right? Unless you have Saracens. Yeah, so the market price is still decent for tweaking the economy. And it's going to be the Mayans going Imperial Age first here. Even with those resources of Ilsanders, it's very, very small numbers to consider here with the or differences. It's like less than a minute. And the eco situation is still well ahead for Ilsanders. Are we going to see Carmanda around here now? That's a nice castle on the middle here. There is no castle for the Mayans, which gives Ilsanders an advantage in that regard. TC number 4 and 5 going up on the neutral golds and wood lines here as well, and committing quite a few villagers to building them. Look at the buildings here as well with the hit points. For the Persians, docks and town centers, they are twice as high. So I don't know the timings of Elite Eagle Warrior and Halberdier here, but I guess Firescreen will be able to afford Halberdier more or less right away. Ilsanders tries to take a fight there. Good, Scorpions running in. Don't run in with the Knights before Imperial Age and Cavalier here. Oh no. Eagles, they kill Siege very quickly with their speed and attack here, and so many knights going down here for Ilsanders, taking a fight before Imperial Age sadly gets a little bit impatient here, loses a lot of the knights mass, but replenishing them as well, keeping Firescreen TV at their tiptoes here. And now the Eagles for the counter raids. There is an opening here to enter. This could be very upsetting for the economy of Ilsanders. I see trash bows coming in, Commander on. And lots of ranges going up here. Not really enough wood to justify that. Lacking Bodkin Arrow as well. Cavalier is coming in. And until Elite Eagle Warrior kicks in, the Cavaliers will do just fine against the Eagles of Firescreen TV. Get some good raids in here, but we'll need a huge, massive raids here to upset the eco difference between the two. No trebuchets in queue from the castle yet, and all of the wood economy gets contested here by the Eagles. The Knights will need to move back home, and Cavalier is still 50 minutes away, but it's Castle Age units against Castle Age units. Imperial upgrades missing for the Cavaliers to come for Ilsanders here as well. Still, it's 108 villagers to 64, so... That's a surprisingly good cleanup from Ilsanders here. Now back in equal military numbers here with plate bearing armor on the way. Cavalier kicking in just there. No halberdier for Firescreen TV just yet. And with the trash bow switch, that might just be enough to deal with the pikes and halbs regardless. 18 Cavaliers to the 8 Eagles and 15 pikes on Firescreen TV. Main gold still... quite a lot to go here. There's enough stone for a defensive castle now, but if this turns into a Trevor, it should still be in Ilsanders' favor here. More barracks going up on the side, and Sanders may or may not see this. Okay, that's a decent castle. With Sanders not being aware of that, shouldn't need to worry too much, has the hill to push. I'm pretty sure this castle is mainly to protect his stone for more potential castles. Maybe even a plumed archer switch for the Mayans here. Sanders playing a bit passively here now, but probably wants to mass up a decent chunk of crossbows before engaging. We'll need to get ballistics and these upgrades as well to really get the best trash bows possible here. Elite Eagle Warriors now in no Eldorado, giving the extra hit points for the Mayans because the castle isn't up yet. And the economy seems a bit on the weaker side for Fire Screen TV here now, getting halberdiers, so that's probably why there's a drain on the food and gold. But all in all now, Ilsanders with much higher army value, and the first trebuchet out, this castle might be going down as quickly as it went up. Conscription and a couple of trebuchets. A couple more trebuchets popping out here. Some scorpions still alive. But now the trash bows will do work as the counter unit against the halberdiers here. You see Eagle Raids doing work here, but again, there's 3 lakes to 1 here. That's probably why Ilsanders is so confident overall here and not stressing over losing units as well, because it's been a massive equal lead the whole game. Should be interesting to see the stats graph after. Yeah, more than enough stone to repair here, but as more trebs join in, it's going to be all that much harder to keep producing. Trash bows joining in, they might run into cast fire, but who cares? They are trash, they only cost wood. So many resources now for Ilsanders here, closing in on population cap, keeping a total of 40 population lead over the opponent here. Not using the trebs though, so that's something that needs to be addressed here. Don't think we're going to see any Eldorado here from the mines, because it's an expensive upgrade and the castle that you need to research it is about to go down here. I think Persian's pick is going to come out victorious here by the looks of the pressure here. Cavaliers numbers, 41 on them now. We might even see Paladins in this 1v1 here. Oh. I was worried for a moment there that I had muted myself, but thankfully that was not the case. 66 military to 49, still Eagle Raids that are annoying, but at this point, Sanders has the army and already has built up the economy needed for the death ball here. The Eagles are sniping one trebuchet here, but 22 Eagle Warriors not producing more than 1 barracks here. The trebuchets will be closing in further. Another defensive castle, but the trebuchets should easily deal with that. Halberdiers eating up the cavaliers here again, but where are they? Where are those 37 cavaliers? They're probably really cleaning up raids at home, so good work on Fire Screen TV to keep those busy. Halberdiers might focus down on trebuchet here as well, but I'm looking at the overall population and seeing Ilsanders at a very favorable spot here. Still deep fish to be eaten around here. Cleans up the Eagle Raids at home, and now 56 military to 29 here. Send those cavaliers back ASAP. Just get forward there. Keep the pressure going. Get some raids in on all of the economy. Find the back goal maybe of Fire Screen TV here and close out the game through counter raids here. Always replenishing villagers, I love to see that. That keeps the economy rolling and makes it so hard to raid enough to punish this. Look at this, 85 villagers killed, or 85 eco units, 85 villagers killed by Fire Scream, and still Ilsanders keeps that 113 lead with, yes, with idle TCs, but with 5 TCs to 1 now. Now that the town centers are going down at home base for Fire Screen TV as well. Trebuchet will be going down, but there's just army dominance for Ilsanders at this point, and I don't see what the Mayans can do here. Mayans lack a little bit of mobility, not having cavalry, so they're not the necessarily top tier pick for Four Lakes and hybrid maps for that reason. So we're on Hussars now for Ilsanders. Can justify that through farms and fish economy, of course. 50 on food. Never-ending Hussar spam here from the Persians player. And now Firescream, admirably still keeping army numbers, matching the Persians player here, but the overall population, the economy is weaker. There's lots of gold in the bank, that's almost all you need for the Eagles, but Eagles, as we've seen, they don't really work that well against Cavalier masses of the Persians here. Still raiding the sides here, still getting builder kills. It is the decider game, so of course Firescreen TV wants to fight on here, but just really just delaying the inevitable here. In my opinion, it's ponds never got contested, so it's been 3 lakes versus 1 here for Ilsanders the whole game. And now even the Cavaliers are cleaning up the small unit masses here. Firescreen TV won't be able to pump out enough units to push this army back. It's almost 3 times the army size for Ilsanders, closing in on PopCap, still queuing villagers, still queuing trash posts, doing good. They're both doing good work at keeping the army production buildings rolling, but with Ilsanders' superior economy throughout the whole game, it's just less of a concern to lose units. Enter the Cavaliers to raid with the Trash Ball back up here still. One raid Scorpion to help out as well. Elite Eagle Warriors again raiding the TC down here. Firescream refusing to give in here, but now Ilsanders is effectively at pop cap against an opponent with 95 population. And a comeback here for Firescream TV would just be the return of a lifetime. It would take a massive throw to lose that moment. The GG is called. We have Ilsanders as the winner of the bronze division of Mid-ELO Medieval Tourney. Congratulations and GG well played to Firescream TV being the runner-up as well. Very equal KD here, so Eagle rates clearly working out. As you can see, 92 villagers killed. Ilsanders spamming that TC hotkey to replenish the villagers. I see no guild nets here for either player. That's boosting the fish food income, fishing ship work rate. So that would have made it even easier to replenish food heavy armies for Ilsanders, I think. But overall, nice Persian's performance here, playing one of the strongest sims of Four Lakes for sure. Massive eco difference here with faster breaking town centers and docks, and also more of them overall. That's it from Mid-ELO Medieval Tourneys. Thanks for tuning in. This will probably be reaching the YouTube as well with the tournament in the title. So see you here or there.